Dallas, Texas, or Southern California? This is going to be a great debate. In this video, I'm actually going to go out of the ordinary. I've been invited by my friend Levi Lassick in Dallas, Texas, and his team living in Dallas, Texas, right? And we're going to go over pretty much who's a little bit better, Southern California or Dallas, Texas, right? You guys all know the answer. Of course it's going to be, right? But we're going to leave that up to you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, so stay tuned because we're going to get after it right now.
Jonathan is one of our partners in the California area, and overall really great guy. By the way, has a channel as well, living in South California. So you're making me. We went an hour later tonight just to accommodate for Jonathan now, and you're getting into the hours whenever I start to go on decline. I'm more of a morning person, but nah.
A little tired.
It's all good. Yeah, living in South California, again, Temecula area. So one of our partners there. So tell us a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit. Tell us about John. How long you born and raised there? Born and raised. I mean, what's going on there in your area?
All right, so I'll give you guys a little 30 seconds. So I was born in Los Angeles, LA, right? I was born in LA to about the age of 10, moved to Georgia of all places, actually where Chrissy's at right now. And I lived there to the age of 18. And then from the 18 to, 9 years later, I was actually in the Marine Corps for 9 years, served, and it brought me back to California all my 9 years. So it brought me back to San Diego, was up in the Bay Area for some time, got into real estate part-time while in the military, and then came back to San Diego from the Bay and just got out, been doing real estate full-time ever since.
Well, so hold on a second. I never knew. Did you know this, Chrissy? He lived in, okay. All right.
Yep.
I didn't know this part. So you lived in Northwest Georgia?
Yes, sir. Dalton, Georgia. I actually graduated high school over there.
Dalton of all places. Wow.
Yep.
Man, what small world.
Yep. It was. Yeah. When I found out, we were talking all about it. So Dalton's our stomping grounds.
That's hilarious.
I know, it's like, what are the odds, right? It's like in the middle of nowhere for most people. So, it's big. I mean, it's big for the area. It's one of the biggest cities in the area. But I mean, in terms of the rest of Georgia, I mean, Dalton it's still kind of small town community, in my opinion. So,
yeah, that's really cool. Wow, that's interesting. So now that we've spilled the beans too, that Chrissy lives in Georgia, which we never really disclosed that fact. It's funny because
not everybody knows.
Yeah, it's what was funny, Jonathan. I don't know. We finally met. So Chrissy and I have worked together for about 4 years,
right?
And of course, I met her online, and then from a job site, and then worked together for the last 4 years. Finally met in person for the first time 2 weeks ago.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Right there.
Good times. But what's funny though is because, Chrissy started out as our original editor for all of our videos. So even though she lived in Georgia, and then also she answered the phones for us for several months. And so people would call in, they'd start asking questions, even though it wasn't her position. We always said, yeah, don't get into too many questions. Just get everybody, get people over
Which
to
is
us.
hard.
Yeah, but they would always come out, start asking questions, and Chrissy was like, well, I could talk about Dallas for hours because she edited all of our videos, learned all the neighborhoods inside and out, left and right, and so it was funny when she was here 2 weeks ago or so. She's like, "Oh, I'm driving through. Oh, this is Louisville. Oh, this is Irving.
Yep.
Oh, this is."
I know this area.
I know. It all looks very familiar.
Yeah. So that's cool. So let's talk a little bit about California real quick. As far as I don't really want to get into too much data and stats and things like that. Let's kind of stick to kind of what we cover on both of our channels, which is a lot. We help people understand the area and stuff. So number one, here's the Here's the idea is that a lot of people think everyone's just kind of fleeing California, getting out of there, right? And especially from the Texas perspective, that's what we believe. But I don't know if you can confirm this or not, but I thought I just came across a stat that California actually had a net migration. I don't know if it was last year or the first half of this year or something, but even though with the amount of people moving out, they still had net gain because I mean, California is one of the largest economies in the world. And so, despite what there may be a lot of people moving out, there's still people moving in. So what have you seen on the ground there as far as, are you familiar with some of those, the exact stats? Are you still seeing people kind of come in as far as, in those areas or LA and things like that?
Well, Levi, it's my job to kind of know it, but just to give you guys a little insight. So majority of California, yes, we have seen like a big exodus in the past 2 years, starting since really 2020, since like the pandemic hit. There's a lot to it. I'm not really going to get into it or deep dive, but it's mainly the unaffordability in California that kind of set it off. And yes, there is a mass exodus around the LA area, the San Francisco area, and also San Jose, that Silicon Valley, right, where things are just getting so unaffordable. And also starting to see it in San Diego. But Riverside County, man, I love it because it is still an affordable place where I'm getting all the counties coming over here. Like my very first call to my channel was actually someone from San Jose. So from the north, right? So Northern California called and they're like, hey, we want to move down there because we know we can get more bang for our buck. And I was like, you absolutely can. And we've kind of seen them, everyone just migrate from different counties into Riverside. But then we have seen a mass exodus leave. And when I was living in the Bay Area back 2018, I mean, I knew a lot of my friends were like, I'm gone. I'm going to Idaho. I'm going to, Arizona, Nevada. Some people are like Florida. Everybody said Texas, but a lot of people didn't really go to Texas for whatever reason. But a lot of people do mention Texas whenever they, decide to move. But then ultimately, they just don't stray that far from, personally, my friends. So yeah, that's kind of what we're seeing. We are seeing some exodus, but then at the same time, and I get calls from guys from Oregon, Seattle, Utah. I've gotten calls from people in Texas. And so I'm just like, okay, they're leaving, but they're also coming. It's just like, all right, they leave. All right, let me go to Texas, to this flat state over here. And they're like, okay, I miss the palms. I miss the beaches. I miss the beautiful weather in sunny San Diego. And then they decide to move back for whatever reason, one reason or another. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how it's.
Why are Texans moving to California though? That's what I want to know.
So a lot of the Texans that are moving here are people that left coming back. Gotcha. So we don't really get. You guys are very prideful down there in Texas. Very prideful people, from my experience with you guys. But it's really a lot of people that left and then came back for whatever the reason may be, whether it was the weather or the humidity or they're just missing family. I haven't not yet received a call that was like, hey, I was born and raised in Texas. Let me just move to California. You don't really get that much. You get the people that went over there and that are just coming back. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's well, hey, that's good to be in the real estate business, right? you catch them going out, catch them coming back in. I mean, but yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, I don't know, unless it's, specifically for a job transfer, that people are just making their way out of here to go to California, or that would make sense too if they moved here. I do know that in the last year, a few of the people that we've had that have, that we've listed their homes already within a year and they're moving back. It's usually also because of family issues or something like that. Yeah. At least that's been the feedback for us. They've had either a death or illness or something like that, and they need to get back to help out the parents or the, whatever the case may be. But that's only come up a couple of times with our clients. So that's all we know of. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you get a lot of migration. I mean, California is so large as well that I could see that you get the migration, especially in the area you're at. So you're saying you're in Riverside County. Is that the area? Okay. Yeah, so it's just for those that don't know, I'm going to do a quick share here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Should be able to share this one and show. I kind of pulled this up a little bit of the map there. Let's see. And we zoom in. So we got LA right there. Let's see if you can't really see my mouse. I might have to do my little trusty drawing tool. And there it goes. But where'd my map go? Now that disappeared. See how we operate? Okay, here we go. We got LA. Oh, we'll just go into Temecula. So it's right there, right there. You're kind of nestled in between the mountains, right?
Yes, sir.
So right there, you can see you've got San Diego right down here, LA. That's like a good little spot. You probably still, does it get real hot over there or?
Yes, dude. Last week we had that heat wave that came and it was over the hundreds for a week. It was a little miserable. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, okay.
Pretty rough.
There you go. So what's funny is that, I've been all over California. I have not been to San Diego yet. And that is, I'll be there twice now in October. And so
you've never been to San Diego, Levi?
Never been to San Diego.
Oh my gosh.
I've been all over California.
Oh, San Diego is one of my favorite parts of California.
You're not going to want to leave, Levi. I'm telling you.
I got to say, San Diego is definitely one of my favorites. So.
I don't know. I've spent a lot of time in Newport and Huntington, and that's hard to leave. That's
Orange County is definitely hard too. I lived out there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice up there too.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
I mean, if there's one place that Newport Beach would probably be the place for me.
Newport.
Yeah.
It's because you haven't been to San Diego. That's why you're seeing Newport. But I would say Orange County beaches are probably like the top beaches in the country. They're phenomenal, especially.
How are the beaches in San Diego?
They're more or less. I'm not going to say the same, but they're really great as well. They're pretty awesome. It's just I don't know what it is that Orange County has. Like, I don't know if it's the vibe or what. Cleaner water. I'm not too sure, but it is a higher end area, especially all around that Orange County coast. So I
feel like it's more swimmable too. Like when you go up there, you can actually get in the water. At least with the San Diego beaches I've been to, I mean, you have a lot of like sea lions and stuff around down there. So it's pretty hard to get in the water over there unless you're like kayaking or something.
Yeah. Do they mess with you, the sea lions?
No, they just smell bad.
I'm gonna say this. When I was younger, we were at a beach we were at Huntington Beach. And my little sister, she was probably maybe 7 at the time. We were out there playing around, and there's sea lions around. Kid you not, one of them grabbed her, like bit her by the shirt, was trying to drag her. And
are you kidding?
Like, no, I'm dead serious. And we're just like, what is going on right now? But it didn't do much. But yeah.
I don't know. I've seen that video.
Oh my gosh,
yeah, have you seen the video where the family, they're like standing on the dock and the sea lion comes up and grabs the little kid like by
I have seen that video.
That's exactly what happened to my sister.
Oh my gosh, they never bothered me. I mean, when I'm out there, I'm usually kayaking or something, and so they kind of stay away from me when I'm out there doing that. But gosh, that's scary. They do smell really bad, so you don't really want to be around them too much. They're fun to watch from a distance.
Huh. If you get close, they got some long nails, some long claws on them.
Yikes.
Oh, really?
Pretty interesting.
On their paws?
Mm-hmm. On their little flippers or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, paws?
Really long.
Yeah, I don't know. What does a sea lion have? Do they have paws or flippers?
They're like flippers, I guess.
Well, what about the front? Isn't the front like paws?
Yeah, no, they're the little.
They're smaller. They're smaller flippers, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess
we'll look up the technical term.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm gonna have to Google sea lions. Yeah, I was just trying to think. I mean, I see them like I just never really zoned in to see is that a flipper or is it a paw? I don't know. Yeah.
You gotta check them out, man.
I mean, I know on the back. They've definitely got some flippers back there.
Yeah, they are cool. They are cool to be around. I mean, like when I've been out there, they are fun to watch. I would not want to be close to one though. They are definitely big.
Yeah, they are.
They're big.
Let's see here. Oh, here you go. Look, I live in LA, born and raised, tired of it. Politicians really messed
I don't live in LA County no more.
I'm a conservative now. LOL. All right, here you go. Yeah.
I don't get into politics, but yes.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I tell you what, I love Dallas, but I don't like the flatness of it. But I mean, there's definitely some elevation changes just outside on the outskirts. It's almost like they came in and just flattened Dallas. Maybe they just bulldozed a little bit. But when you go down South Dallas, you start to hit a little bit. You start to break into a little bit of hill country, and hill country in Texas is really, really nice. But the lakes are good. But what's the funny story is that my parents and my whole family is actually from Orange County. And one of my grandmas lived in Costa Mesa. The other grandma lived in Santa Ana, and my parents were grew up in Huntington Beach area. So my two older brothers were born in Huntington Beach, and
lucky them.
It gets
okay. Never mind. I'm just
two older brothers were born there. Then they moved to Stephenville, Texas, which is like 10,000 people. Country, dusty, tumbleweeds rolling through, cows. I mean, it's the dairy capital of the world and the cowboy capital, because more rodeo champions have come from Stephenville than anywhere else. It's more dairy farms per capita than anywhere else. So that's why I always say, if you're not milking cows or riding bulls, there's really not much else to do there. But, grew up, I mean, my class was like, my high school class was like 250 people or so. And it would be in the middle of the summertime, and the thing is mostly during the summer here in Texas, it just doesn't rain for, 3 or 4 months. So everything would be dry, kind of dead and at some point. And then we would take our summer vacation, which we were like the Griswolds, and we would pack up the van and we would start driving. And every summer, and that's what we'd stop in New Mexico and, do the formations, do a little hiking, stop in Arizona, like look at the Grand Canyon. I mean, exactly like the Griswold. And we camped. We didn't stay in hotel rooms. We never flew anywhere. And we would stay at campgrounds and pitch tents, and everything. And then we'd get to Costa Mesa, because we'd always pretty much stay with my grandma Beth in Costa Mesa. And we'd get there, and it'd be 70 degrees. Everything was green. And I was like, what is this place? Like growing up. And so, every summer would look forward to going there. Just, amazing weather. So that's why it does hold a special place in my heart. Just because growing up there, visiting during the summers and playing on the beach and just enjoying everything. It was a lot of fun there.
That's awesome,
it's a gorgeous drive in there too. We used to drive there a lot. My dad did a lot of consulting work with Disney actually growing up, and so we were in San Diego and in the Temecula area a lot growing up, and so I love the drive. We used to drive there like every other month, and so I love the drive, just coming in and seeing all those rolling hills that are all so green every time you go in there. It doesn't matter what season, too. I mean, it's always green there, so that's always fun.
Yeah, back in the days, Temecula wasn't much. Today, it's really grown. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this area in Riverside, it was just like nothing but like farmlands and just
It's been a while since I've been out there. I'm sure it's changed a lot.
Oh yeah, it's like a lot. So it's pretty crazy.
I remember even when it was, even when I was growing up, I remember it kind of being kind of slow in Temecula when we would go there, which is why we liked it, because you get away from kind of like the hustle and bustle of like LA and stuff. But I remember really liking it, and the beaches up there are really nice too. So we used to go up there and enjoy, a lot of that coastline and stuff. It's really pretty up there.
It is.
I just want to remind everybody that you're watching the Dallas channel and you still want to move to Dallas. Okay.
I will help you buy a nice vacation home over here in California. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
All right. Well, speaking of tumbleweeds, living in Oklahoma City, just hard time. I love the live videos. Keep them coming. Yeah, you bet. Anytime. So, but all right. So let's get back to, I want to do a couple of quick questions for you, Jonathan. Number one thing you really love about the area?
About Southern California or Temecula?
Well, let's see. Rachel Kite says hello from Plano. Hello, Rachel. How are you? And Well, let's just say, I mean, your channel's South California, so let's just kind of keep it to South California. By the way, which areas do you cover? If any, I know we have a lot of Californians watching this, so if you're thinking about making that move to Dallas, you need an agent in the South California area to list your home. Jonathan's definitely the guy to do it, but what areas are you covering other than just Temecula?
I cover all Southern California, all the way to currently I'm in escrow in Apple Valley, up and way up there, all the way down to the border. So I'm just everywhere.
How far of a drive is that to the border?
To the border from Temecula, I can get there probably in an hour 15 with no traffic. Yeah.
Seems like it's so much further on the map, but all right. I was just saying. So you even go up to, so you can hit up. You'll hit up Orange County. I guess you're not far from Orange.
Yeah, I can get to Orange County and hit Orange County, like the county line, probably in like 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah. There you go. All right. Well, there you go. All those good areas. So that's good. So South California. What's the thing you really, really love about the area?
Man, it's so hard, honestly. I think it's just all the things that you can do, whether it's outdoor and indoor activities. And I always talk about it in my videos. It's just, you can never get bored here. Like, you just can't. And Southern California, shoot, there's so much to do, but California in general, it's just like its own country. I mean, here in Southern California, you can do, man, we were at Knott's Berry Farm, about 2 weeks ago. Then I was at the beach last week because it was so hot. I was up in the mountains trying to show homes. I'm like, dude, this is the life, but I can be out in the desert too. We go shooting guns sometimes out in the desert. So it's just like, man, you get everything. I can go surfing and snowboarding the same day. So that's a blessing. Yeah. Winter month's coming up, Levi. I'm going to be showing houses in San Diego, go surfing. And then I'm going to go up to Big Bear to show houses and snowboards in the night. I can do it all in one day.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. I mean, it is so diverse there. That I would say that's definitely a good pro. So, but yeah, we were there in June in Newport and went to Knott's Berry Farm for the day. Amazing. Love that place. We used to go there as a kid as well. And so much better than Six Flags.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. The boysenberry beers, oh my gosh, they're so amazing.
Yeah, and I had boysenberry barbecue sauce on some chicken wings, it was great. Bought the fast pass, by the way, but literally walked to the front of every single line. I kind of felt guilty, but at the same time, I was like, haha, fast pass, We could get off and rode every ride like 3 times at least. Just got out. I was like, well, shoot, we're right here. Let's just ride it again, and then go off to the next one, ride it 3 times, come back around. There's one. They've got that one there. It goes straight up. Like, you come out of the chute and it goes literally it goes straight up.
Yeah.
That's worse than the whole rides, because you're sitting there and you know how it clicks and it's just like click, click, and you're just sitting there and you're looking straight up.
I think they just discontinued that one. That's the one that you just goes like 0 to like 87 miles an hour in like 3 seconds or something. I think
it pulls you up and then it pulls you, it brings you to the top and stops, and then it has a curve that actually goes down like that. And it's not you don't come out of the gate. You literally, when you come out, you go straight up like 90.
I'm a season pass holder, and I'm trying to think of the ride, and I was there 2 weeks ago. But
oh yeah.
I can't think of it.
Dude, that was
Oh my God.
That was the way to go.
I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, the Mr. Freeze at Six Flags, at least here in Texas, that's the one that just shoots to like 70, 80 miles an hour, like within 2 seconds.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Six Flags in a long time.
Yeah.
I'll be doing this with you guys.
So, all right. So tell us something you really just don't like quite so much about the area.
Just what everybody always says. Traffic kind of sucks, man. It does, man. I was in Los Angeles about a month ago, right? I was out there. I was meeting someone, and I was only about 5 miles. Now, really like 4.5 miles, but it took me 45 minutes from the place that I was at to get to them. 45 minutes, and it was only 4.5 miles. I'm like, dude, I can run there and get there faster. So yeah, I mean, traffic can suck. So I stay away from LA or any major city really on a Friday, you're not going to see me out after 4. You'll catch me back on the roads maybe like around 7 or 8. Yeah. Fridays are the worst.
Yeah, traffic. I tell you what, they are really making things very breathable, I would say, here in Dallas. I mean, we do have the space to keep growing out, so they're just putting more and more highways, expanding the current ones. And again, the engineering that they do here is amazing. While they work on current roads and keep traffic going, and I don't feel like I get stuck in too much. And if you do get stuck here, you do keep moving. It's never just a sit still. I mean, it's always a pretty steady flow. It just might be a little slower pace, and it usually picks right back up. And now they have the toll roads. I mean, I think traffic flows really well here.
Yeah, that's very impressive. I mean, for such a big city to be able to drive there. And I mean, there were a few times that I left when I was there, not, a couple of weeks ago. I would leave my hotel room a little bit late and think, oh man, I'm going to get stuck in traffic. I'm not going to make it on time. And I had no trouble getting around. I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
I'm kind of jealous of you guys.
Yeah. Where did we drive? I think when you drove down to South Dallas or something too, we hit there was and this was like 6 p.m. at night.
It was like prime rush hour traffic.
We didn't hit any traffic. I was really surprised by that. We didn't hit any traffic at all.
Yeah, rub it in my face. It's okay. Rub it in my face. The whole
I've sat in that California traffic. You could be there forever. I mean, forever.
It can be rough. But if
even late at night, I remember sometimes I was out there for a business conference a few years ago, and I remember sitting in traffic. It was dark outside in the middle of summer, so it had to have been 9 o'clock at night. It was still bumper to bumper traffic in LA. It's rough.
Yeah, it really is. So what do you say? The best and most expensive state is Southern California. I live in LA, but life is too expensive in here. I'm looking for Dallas, Texas. You should look at Riverside County.
No, Dallas all the way. And make sure you give us a call. Shoot us a text. Send us an email. I was trying to read his little thing, and there it says, keep calm and I don't know. Vamo. Maybe is that Vamo? Is it Spanish? It might be Spanish. I don't know.
Vamos?
No. Well, I can't see. It has a little, I can't see. But anyway.
Freshen up in Spanish there, Levi.
Well, if I could read it, I could read a little bit. Let's see. My goal is to save time, save some money in Texas, moving back to California. Oh, move to Texas, save some money, right? Save money.
There you go.
In Texas and move. Okay, so there you go. Yeah,
that's what usually happens is they go over there and then they come back and they
take a break. They're gonna go take a break and they're gonna be like, all right, no state income tax, no other this tax, that tax, just gonna chill out for a little bit. Okay, I see how it is. Just gonna come over and use us for our good political policies and then head back. Okay,
Levi, I have a question. How are the state taxes in Texas? How are they? Because I know in California we have pretty low property taxes, like one of the lowest in the nations. But I don't know about Texas. I was actually curious about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, if state income tax versus property tax, I would say in Dallas, we're on average. I'm going to say a good average is probably 2.5% on property taxes. Not as bad as Austin or Houston. They're kind of getting a little out of hand. So. But on average, around 2.5%. You can still find areas 1.8, 1.9 in the low 2s. And I think that's it. But again, no state income tax in Texas.
Right.
So, of course, the more you earn, that's definitely more of an advantage as well. And then there is, I believe you don't have property exemptions, do you? In tax exemptions on homesteads, or do you?
We have exemptions for our veterans that are 100% disabled, permanent and total. They do have some exemptions. And I know for veterans that I've helped buddies get that, but it's not like anything significant. It's honestly, you're probably saving $150, off a monthly mortgage here.
Oh, really? For the disabled veterans?
Right. For the disabled veterans that are 100% disabled.
So I know Texas for sure, and I believe Florida is the only state. Texas for sure, and Florida maybe the second. All right, those are the only two states that I know of that waive property taxes 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you earn a little bit more than, and depending on the size of the house, yes. Now that if you do the homestead exemption, then that's about 25,000. It's like a 25,000 off of the taxable amount of the taxable value, and then also it's should lock it into where they can't raise the property taxes by more than 10% each year. So even with the homestead exemption on there, they could raise your taxes by 10%. But there's some law firms, some law firms that fight that stuff for you as well, and they can sometimes lock it in to where they won't raise it at all for 2 or 3 years. So there's a couple of different little methods you can work on trying to get it under control.
Now that you're saying that, we do have there's some propositions out here that do help some of the people that own their home for like a significant amount of time, where they can qualify to like, hey, keep that same property tax from way back then if they buy something of equal or lesser value. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, there's some exemptions out there on top of my head, but there's not a whole lot. So I don't want to kind of put that on the live channel and be like, hey, Jonathan told me there's all these things. And next thing you know, like, this guy, he's a fool. He lied to me. So I'm not going to.
Oh, I know my grandma Beth, when we moved her to Texas, and she bought her house in Costa Mesa for, I believe, about $30,000. And the way I understood it at that time was that the taxable amount is on the purchase price. So she was always taxed off of a $30,000 house, and we sold her house for $950,000.
That's awesome, man.
Wow.
Unless you get it reassessed, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot sometimes. So.
Well, there's no reason to do that. I mean,
$30,000 mortgage. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she had that thing paid off for forever, but still, she just had her taxes based on a $30,000 house. But
that's awesome.
But that became her retirement. But that was when we sell her house. I mean, it was 2000 and
that wasn't recent, because Costa Mesa is it's up there.
No, it was 2012 or so, and they just tore it down. That's the crazy thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for $950, and they just straight tore it down. Yeah, they straight tore it down and put up a McMansion right there. So
yeah, that's kind of crazy how they do that. But I have a builder. I have a buddy of mine. I actually met him in the gym. His name was Todd when I lived in Dana Point, and he actually specialized in that. And they literally just bought up houses and then just demolished them. And built like $18 million mansions in Newport. It was all Newport. So, I mean, it was pretty cool that they did that. It's kind of sad they're tearing up history right there. But hey, great job.
Yeah, I loved her house. It was a little bungalow, one of those little bungalow homes, like that, just that quintessential California bungalow type. It was super cool. But
that's awesome.
Let's see, Kyle. What's up, Kyle? Kyle says, I'm trying to see, what is his picture? It looks like a little robot or something. We'll be in Texas and looking for South Lake week of the 26th. Like to know more and have some guidance. Absolutely, Kyle. Well, you know what to do. That would be right there.
Right there. Yeah, there you go.
Give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd be happy to help you out. There's some great opportunities going on in South Lake right now, so that's for sure. Let's see. Daniel, stationed at Camp Pendleton from Oceanside down to San Diego, is just beautiful. If I was rich, I would definitely stay in San Diego.
Daniel, let me tell you, I was stationed on Camp Pendleton when I purchased my first house here in Marietta, because it's only a 45 to an hour drive. I mean, you definitely get your bang for your buck. It was hard giving up Oceanside weather. It was hard giving up that vibe in San Diego, but sometimes you just gotta make the move.
Yeah, what's it like in Oceanside? I know that's kind of like the main suburb of San Diego, right? Is that like the spot to be, or what?
Yes and no. So Oceanside's come up quite significantly, man. Like from when I lived there back in 2015 and 2016, it's really changed and grown, man. Like Oceanside used to be a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. It used to be a rougher city. But they've really cleaned up quite significantly, and they've just added all these things. Downtown Oceanside area, it's not what it was 5 years ago. They added a bunch of these hotels and little resort type of things, and all these breweries and small businesses are popping up out of nowhere. It's actually a really cool spot to go nowadays. It's just a lot of people just become unaffordable now. So it's a cool spot. A lot of military because it's tucked up right under Camp Pendleton. So a lot of military.
By the way, I just realized, is that in the corner? Is that like a hamster spiral staircase back there? No, yeah.
Yeah.
Staircase.
It is. Honestly, I liked it, man, and I just bought it on eBay, and I added Amazon. I added my little lights to it, and I have some cars that are blue that you can't even see because it.
Okay, it's like a shelf. It's like little like a quarter circle shelf, corner shelf. Okay.
You thought it was a hamster thing?
It looked like it there. I guess the thing that holds, I don't know, it looks like a spiral staircase almost a little bit, and then
pretty trippy. Yeah.
Yeah, but it also looks small enough. It looks too small for a cat, so that's why I was just gonna go with hamster.
Jonathan, you can't lump him into the hamster people.
Yeah,
that's the other people.
My dogs wouldn't like the hamster here.
He's got family. I don't know. Kids like that stuff. I always like.
That would be a cool hamster cage. Let's be real, though.
Hey,
that hamster would be living the life.
Growing up, we always just had just the basic hamster cage, because we definitely had hamsters growing up, but that was my dream. My parents were very, 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 very tight on the funds, so we never did. I mean, the fact that we even had a hamster, I was surprised, but my dream was to always buy all those connectors, all the tubes. And I was like, I want the Six Flags of hamster houses,
But you got to get a hamster now, man.
I know.
There you go.
Yeah. So,
or you can be one of those, you can get one of those connective things for your kitty that you have. You know how some people, they have those shelves in their house that go all the way around their house from the top.
Ethan Hill, didn't California just have an earthquake? I will answer that. Ethan, California has an earthquake almost every day. Literally every day. We have small little magnitude earthquakes going on everywhere. Like literally every couple of hours there's earthquakes going on. And so it's just a lot of people don't know that. But it's just one of those things. They only feel the real big magnitude when I think of over 2.0 or 3.0 magnitude earthquakes. Those are the ones that people really, really feel. But yes, we literally have them every day, and people just are unaware.
Yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time. I mean, I'm from Utah originally, and I felt my first earthquake, right before we moved to Georgia a few years ago, and somebody mentioned to me, because we have a lot of people from my community that were from the California area, and so, everyone was freaking out in my neighborhood about this earthquake, and all the Californians are like, "This is nothing. We have this all the time." So
literally every day.
That's crazy. It freaked me out. I mean, it was like a tiny one. I remember waking up and the bed was shaking and the house was shaking, but I mean, it was nothing major. It's not like things were falling or anything like that, but it freaked me out.
Henry says everyone just admitted they love California.
Before him, I loved what he commented. He said earthquakes, mudslides, and lots of fires to look forward to in California, and no rights. Everything in the first beginning, absolutely right. As far as no rights in Riverside County, man, it's just a whole different area in California. It's really cool. It's really chill. But
Southern California is,
Yeah.
I mean, so here's the thing. Yeah, we went to actually the conference we're going to at the end of September. We went to it last year at the end of September. Now, you coming from Texas, we weren't. I mean, we wore masks for a month, and then everybody was kind of like, okay, yep, all right, yeah, forget it. We're over that after a month. So we went to this conference in LA in September. Literally, they had this whole room. We had to go in and get tested there. We had to get wristbands. Then you had to wear then you still had to wear a mask, even though everybody tested negative. Then they made you wear a mask everywhere. And we wanted to spend the weekend. I was telling Travis, my partner, I was like, hey man, we got to go to Newport Beach. If we're going to be in LA, we got to go down to Newport Beach for the weekend and hang out. And so we rented a convertible, of course, and whenever the conference ended on Thursday, we were like, we got to hit the PCH, and just take a slow cruise all the way down to Newport. And we rented one of those homes right there on the boardwalk. And we got there, like, no mask, no concern. I mean, everyone was just super chill, having a good time. I mean, just a completely different world down there.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's just like different. Southern California,
it's a vibe.
Los Angeles, yeah, definitely. Los Angeles is way different from Orange County. Orange County is so different from Riverside County. Riverside is so different from San Diego and San Bernardino. Like LA is they are more of a liberal type of city, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But yeah, they took a while to transition out of masks, and they did take COVID very seriously. A little bit like San Diego too. Now, while Riverside and Orange County, not so much. When COVID started, I was actually in Orange County, and I just remember Levi. You know that I'm a big gym enthusiast, right? So I love to lift weights every day, and I'm just like, what am I gonna do, man? Everything's shut. And then everywhere was just shut except Orange County. They're like, no, here you go. You can go to the gym. Just wear a mask, clean up after yourself, kind of keep your distance. And I loved it for that reason. I was living in Dana Point. It is an older community, and so I can kind of see a lot more conservative over there. But yeah, like every county is so different in Southern California. People they don't understand that. They're like, Southern California, beautiful palm trees, beaches, the weather. But it's extremely different. It's
a very laid back attitude down there, at least from when I've been there. I mean, I just feel like everybody is so chill. The people are a lot nicer down there than they are in the LA area. I feel like people are really rude up in the LA area, but down in Southern California, I always met the nicest people down there when we were traveling around.
I love it because it's just, I remember moving back from when I lived in Georgia, so different. And I would come back and, I'd see like 60-year-old dudes riding skateboards.
It's like, true. Yeah, like the boardwalk and stuff.
The bands and the shorts. And you're just like,
it is so chill down there.
So chill.
Yeah, good spot. Let's see here. Oh, my brother Hari Har. What's up, Hari Har? So Hari Har and I go way back. We spent some time together, hung out in New Orleans, Costa Rica. We did a little traveling. Good friend. I didn't know he watched my channel. What's up, man? Thanks. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Let's see what Henry said. Went to Dallas last weekend because I'm trying to move. It's really nice, and I think it's a good place to save some money. California is the best place to live, but it's too expensive. Well, Henry, I don't believe you let us know you were coming down, did you? Hey, no, it's all good. Traffic. I don't know. He just says, he just yells out traffic.
Henry, I know, brother. I know, man. The traffic sucks, man. Elon is working on it with those tunnels.
There you go.
That boring company. He's making those underground.
How's that going, by the way? Are they still working on that?
From what I know, they are. But I know that the first one I think was built is going from LA to Vegas, and you can supposedly do that tunnel in about like 45 minutes or 30 minutes or something crazy.
Is it operational?
Not yet, but I mean, you can look up some of his YouTube him. You can YouTube some of his tunnels. It's pretty sick. The concept behind it, at least.
Man, because that drive from Vegas is rough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that drive is the worst.
Oh, really? I've never made the drive.
Oh, it's awful. It's just cactus all the way, and it's backed up. There's so much traffic, and there's always an accident. I swear there's always an accident out there, and it's a bad accident every time.
That's because everyone's hungover.
If you're ever going to Vegas from Southern California, you want to make sure your car is like fully operational.
Totally.
One time, man, I had this car. It was a Dodge. Like halfway to it, in the middle of nowhere, man, my car just canked on me. The fan went out, and it was overheating. It's like 115 degrees out there.
Totally. Well, their cars catch fire.
Yeah,
it's so hot out there. That's where all the car accidents come from. People just like implode.
I literally had to turn on the heater to cool the engine in 115-degree weather, putting the windows down to try to make it to a gas station just to make sure I survived. So it was pretty rough.
That's a scary. I mean, it is a scary drive. If you have a breakdown, it's a ways until someone can come out and help you too.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's a rough drive. That's awesome. Those tunnel systems will be really great if they work out and they get operational.
If Elon's watching, sooner than later, we'd appreciate you.
It's awesome.
That's funny. Yeah. So Henry, I think we're going to give Henry he's going to be the winner tonight for the most comments in the live stream. So, hey, appreciate the support, Henry. We do like all the comments and questions. So traffic in Dallas is really nice. I agree. All right. So sounds like we're really making some valid points here. Traffic. I'm in the Hamptons and go to the city. I'll tell you what. Yes. So what was that, maybe a month and a half ago, we went to the Hamptons and we got to go to Ryan Serhant's Hampton office launch party. For those that don't know, if you're just Ryan Serhant's a real estate agent out in New York and just opened a Hampton office. And so we went out there to hang out with him for the weekend, but attend that on Friday night. And we made the mistake of not renting a car. We just thought we knew the hotel we got was close to that venue and things. Anyways, Ubers to get around there was a nightmare, and it took forever. And to get to everywhere, and we spent way more money when we should have just rented a car. But yes, to get back to the airport, going through Long Island. I mean, it's a lot out there, especially the Hamptons, because you're at the very far tip of the island, and you got basically one main highway to get back in. It's have you ever been out to the Hamptons, Jonathan?
I've never been to the Hamptons.
No,
I've been to New York one time, but not the Hamptons. No.
Yeah,
so maybe next year.
Yep. Yeah. There you go. See, Kyle says he'll take Dallas traffic in. Yeah, it was a mess trying to get around. I was surprised. The Hamptons was really. Yeah, Hamptons was pretty bad traffic too. We had to. They actually got a bus for us to go to the launch party from the hotel. So there's quite a few of us, about 30 of us, loaded into a bus, in that big old bus, and it took forever to get there.
Just brag on, Levi. Cool. Me and Christy are sitting over here like, yeah, that's nice. We'll go down.
Nice.
Kyle brought it up, so I was just expanding.
That traffic is brutal.
There you go, Ethan. He lives in South Lake.
Oh yeah. Amazing there. Check out South Lake Town Center. Yep. Some great restaurants. Yeah, it's a good spot. So
South Lake is really nice.
Oh, here's what it says. Vamos Tacos.
What is it? Is that like let's go?
Keep calm it says keep calm and Vamos Tacos. That's his little thing.
Vamos Tacos.
Nice.
Cool.
I thought it said Vamos something. I couldn't see.
Vamos Tacos. You have tacos online.
Oh, Tico's. Oh,
yeah, that's what I said. Tico's.
Doesn't it say let's go? Is that what that means?
Yeah, Vamos means let's go.
What's Tico's?
Hey, junior high Spanish class coming back.
There you go. I am bilingual, by the way. Or I try my
best. Hey, yeah, exactly.
Ticos. I'm trying to think. Ticos? Almost Ticos? I don't know.
Yeah, great. Love to talk with someone in South Lake. Help my wife know if it's good for us. Yeah. Yeah, Kyle, let us know, man. Happy to help you out. And Chrissy already yeah. Awesome. She's already waiting. By the time I get to stuff, she's already hit people up. She's doing that. Definitely reach out. All right, definitely reach out. Love to talk with you, Ethan. We got friendships happening in the chat right now. They're having whole conversations over here, making connections. Follow me on social. Hey.
Show them around.
And Ethan says, no problem. Yeah. Call me.
We're all besties on this channel.
Yeah, you got to show them around.
Let's see. All right. Yeah, we've got some interesting, had some interesting comments tonight. Sorry. Yeah, we had to remove somebody already. Someone else's. All right. I'll skip that one. Let's see. Do you remember? Here we go. Let's get some real estate related questions. Do you recommend that buyers wait one more week for the next interest rate hike before purchasing? What's your conversations like been with your buyers right now, Jonathan?
Well, I'll say this. It's never a good time to wait. Just like I tell all my buyers, you probably tell them the same thing. It's never a good time to wait, right? Um, just like you kind of always say it, but there's a saying that someone recently said, and I saw it on social media and I love it. But when you're looking to buy a house, you guys need to remember that you're gonna date the house. I'm sorry, you're gonna marry the house and date the rate. You know, the rate can always be adjusted. You guys don't get stuck on a rate. Right now, I'm working with um, a lady named Anna. Love her to death. She's so sweet. She was freaked out about the rate, and we're like, you're never stuck on that. You know what I mean? You just wait 6 months, a year, 2 years. Things will kind of cool off, and hey, you guys can lower that just like I did. For example, I always say, me personally, I bought my first house. I was young. I was 20 years old, and my rate was like 5%. And then I was like, I didn't really know. I just bought a house. And my realtor, Jeff, my mentor, he was the coolest guy ever. He's like, dude, he was like, man, I'm gonna tell you, Jonathan, he's like, you're young, whatever. And he was like, the rate doesn't matter. That thing's gonna change. You're gonna refinance. You're gonna lower that. He was like, with rent, there's no option to lower that. He's like, big dog. He's like, rent only go up, which is absolutely true. If you guys know, right now, rents are like all-time high. So hey, you're gonna marry the house, date the rate. My 5%, 6 months later, turned into a 3.5 and saved me a couple $100.
Yep.
I use real
kind of the same. I don't, the house I'm in, I bought in 2019 at a 5% rate. Didn't even blink an eye at that. At the time, it was a great rate. Hadn't seen that low in quite some time, and I was like, oh, 5%, perfect. I'll take that all day long. Didn't it had never really even dropped in historically, I believe, below, or even 4.5 may have been the lowest point ever. So now we've set this condition to where a 3 or 2.75 is supposed to be normal or something, or we're going to sit around and wait for it to get back to that. Will it? I mean, I have no idea. I know that I've tried to time the market before. It's very difficult to do. I've had several rental properties, and I've done fix and flips. And the thing is that you make your money when you buy, and so as long as you find a good deal in the first place, there's going to be room. It's going to appreciate over time. I mean, real estate's always appreciated over time. The ones that are going to make money in this downturn, or this normalization, whatever it is you want to call it, are the ones that bought 5 years ago, right? Because on average right now, they say anybody that's owned a home in the last 5 years has the average appreciation is around $125,000. So if you have that appreciation built into your home, that's going to give you the opportunity for leverage to buy other assets in the time of what's about to happen. Or as we saw yesterday, the stock market drops 900 points. So, if you really want to invest and buy things and look at it from that standpoint, then owning a home first is usually the first start, and so if you try to wait another 6 months, could rates be a little bit different? Sure. But you have to calculate, okay, what are you going to spend in rent possibly over the next 6 months or even 12 months? All right. So you always have to calculate that. So then if the rate does drop 0.5%, will the homes appreciate? At least in the Dallas area, I can show you just on the last market report, even in August, home prices were still up 20% over last year from August. So even though home sales are down for August of this year, it's still, the prices are up 20%. So if you wait 6 months and you get a 0.5% lower, on the rate, but the homes have still appreciated even at 10%, which we're still projected 10% overall appreciation in Dallas this year. Well, you got to factor in that. Then also what you've paid in rent over that time frame. And then so is even a percentage drop or a 0.5% drop really going to save you that much over that time frame? So, and again, you're eligible for refinance after 6 months. So what's the rate going to be in 6 months? Well, I don't know. It could be higher, could be lower, but then maybe it doesn't mean you have to exactly refinance right at 6 months. But as soon as you pass that 6 month mark, you could pull the trigger on a refinance anytime. Now, if you get 2 or 3 years down the road, it may not make sense unless there's a significant drop or something like that. But if it stays, normal, I mean, it's one of those things where you want to talk to a licensed mortgage broker as well to run those options. We work with one of the best here in Dallas, but the thing is that the homes are going to appreciate likely over time. I mean, Dallas has so many indications of being, it's been the number one housing market the last 10 years. They're projecting it to be the number one housing market for the next 10 years. The population is going to grow and surpass Chicago are the projections within the next 7 years. Corporations moving here. I mean, there's just way too many factors that even if there is even if there was a full-blown crash in the United States, it's always impacted Dallas and Texas just a lot less. So could there be a little dip? Possibly, but probably not that much. And it's probably going to rebound very, very quickly. So I don't know, but I could also be completely wrong. But the thing is that you have to, it comes down to you and your situation too.
Right.
So MT, whoever you are, I would say you've got to ask yourself, we always want to know, why are you moving? First of all, why, what's the reason? Is this, are you have to moving, or you have to move with a relocation, something along those lines? Are you, moving your business, family, schools, whatever the case may be? Why are you making that move? And then for us, what I love to say is that we only got to find you one house. So despite what the market is doing, we got to find one house. People buying up markets, down markets, sideways markets, normal markets, bad markets, they find deals. We find deals. That's what we're supposed to do. So, and even last year we found deals for all of our clients. They're all very, very happy, and so as far as I know, as far as I know, nobody's come back at us. And so they're happy. They still have appreciation built in their home significantly, even from last year, more than normal as well. So we just don't really see, we're seeing a slowing of sales, but that's okay. Prices are normalizing, but they're still increasing because the demand and the inventory here is still pretty low. The demand is still high as well.
Well, and if interest rate is the sticking point too, I mean, they can buy down the rate too, right? There's options there too. There's lots of ways to make it, and so it fits inside your budget. I think it's just exploring those things.
I would say a lot of people get scared because they just don't know. But if you just, maybe just do a little bit of research, you guys will find out that it's not difficult, and in the long run, you'll definitely make more bang for your buck. And just like Levi said, real estate only goes, well, in the long run, up. That's, scientifically shown, proven that it just goes up because that's how it is, real estate. While the stock market, crypto, everything else goes down. And just like the stock market yesterday lost like $1 trillion overnight, you're not going to lose, $600,000 overnight on your home. It's just not going to happen. So that's one of the cool things. Appreciation is one of the 7 world wonders of the world.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're working with a good real estate agent, right? Because then they'll make sure that you don't buy a crap house that is going to, get hit with those types of things.
And what did he say? Born and raised in SoCal, don't want to leave a plan and move to Dallas. Need incentive. You guys just keep reminding me of how great I've had it here all my life.
Yeah, just go back. Remember, we were talking about the earthquakes and the fire. Basically all that. Just remember.
I would say, I think you guys in Dallas, just like over here, you have great appreciation. Just because you guys are constantly building and the population is growing. Southern California has one of the best appreciations in the whole United States. And personally, I love it as a homeowner because, we appreciate anywhere from 4 to 6% a year. So if you guys are looking, at a $500,000 home, and let's say conservatively, the U.S. appreciates at 3%, right? Because there's those states like, I think I saw living in Oklahoma where they, there's there's a lot of land, there's just not a lot of people, so appreciation tends to rise a little slower, right? But places like that, they just don't appreciate, so they kind of bring that appreciation rate a bit down. And so here in California, 4 to 6. But if I say go on the conservative side and you get a $500,000 home, just because it's quick math, a $500,000 home in a year and appreciates at 3%, you guys are looking at $20,000 in just appreciation alone. If I pull my calculator, that's 20,000, right? Divide that by, I don't know if you guys can see that, 12 months. You guys are looking at $1,666 every single month that you guys are just catching just on appreciation alone. And so it's kind of one of those things that I love it for the aspect of, hey, I know that when people buy, they're buying for the great reasons, and they're especially if you have kids, that generational wealth comes into play. I know for my kids, they're gonna have some homes to be like, okay, thank you, Dad. You're welcome. So it's just kind of one of those great things to get in because it just sets you up for success.
Yeah. Well, and I should probably just do a video on this, breaking it down. But simple math would be: let's say you buy a $500,000 house, expected appreciation this year overall will be, let's say, 10%. I mean, that's $50,000 in equity. Now, let's say you're paying $2,000 a month in rent, and you pay that over the next year because you're waiting. That's another $24,000. I mean, that's $74,000 right there you're putting on the table. So if you're waiting for a 0.5% drop, and that's going to save you $200, $300 a month. Let's say $300 a month. That's $3,600, right? So if you take 74,000 divided by,
gotta pull up the calculator, Levi. You gotta show them.
Yep, there you go. So 20. That would take 3,600. That'd be 20 months. So almost 2 years. Almost 2 years to recoup that. Right at 21 months. Yeah, almost 2 years to recoup. Waiting for that time frame. So then it's just one of those things to think about. But again, it's got to be right for you and your family, and ultimately we got find you a deal. Lived in Northern. Brian says, "What's up, Brian? Lived in Northern California my whole life, 50 plus years, and thought I would never leave. So I'm guessing he left."
What part of Northern California?
Oh, and I moved to Henderson.
See, when I lived up there in the Bay Area. Yep, that's where they were going, Nevada or Idaho. Boise, Idaho is where a lot of people are just flocking to. And that's actually Boise, Idaho. They're going to get a big hit.
Big relocation area.
Moved to Texas. Yeseth says, moved to Texas from San Diego. Love it, but missing authentic Mexican food. Hey, we got Tex-Mex. What are you talking about? We got authentic.
It's not the same, Levi. It's just not the same, brother. You got to come to San Diego and try out the Mexican food. It's just so, man.
The food in San Diego is extremely good.
I swear all the people from Tijuana just come out across the border every single day just to sell their food.
Their food is really good over there.
Come on.
Back and ready to bell on California.
All right, you gotta go hit up Levi there, Timothy.
There we go. Yes.
You to sell your home.
We'd be happy to help you out. Yeah, same here in Las Vegas. So hard to find really great taqueria. Yep, there you go. See, again, more connections here in the chat. These people. See, Timothy, I spend up approximately 3 hours daily stuck in Cal. Oh my goodness gracious!
15 miles. When I lived in Georgia, I used to commute to work from Dalton to Chattanooga. It was about 26 miles. It'd take me 26 minutes.
Yeah.
15 miles here. Man, forget about it.
All right. Well, hey, we're already over the hour. Jeez. We're having way too much fun. We're about to rapid fire through here, and we're about to rapid fire. All right. You ready, Jonathan? I guess it's still early for you, but
yes.
As they say, vamos ticos.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Where did I leave off?
What did I love and what do I not?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, Ryan is a good guy. more connections here. This is
no. I think he was talking about Ryan Serhant.
Oh, Ryan Serhant. Okay, yeah. Ryan. He is a good guy. Yeah. We actually got to speak with him too a couple of weeks ago here in Dallas, so that was really cool. Fat Lou. I would never move to Texas from San Diego. All right. Well, Alrighty then.
Hard.
They can have my share of California. I'm belling. All right, good. All right. I got a house 3 times the size, all cash. When I go back to San Diego, I plan to have at least $500K in equity.
There you go. Yes.
Oh, so she's talking smack back to me. I love this. All right.
My house 3 times the size, all cash. There you go. Nice.
Let me see. I work in LA. I'm gonna walk the dog. Cover me.
Okay, what parts of LA do you live in, Timothy?
Californians need to look at a map of Texas and know that Texas has mountains, beaches, forests, rivers, lakes. Yeah. I mean, there's Texas is so expansive, and yes, it does. There are mountains and all kind. And we in Dallas, we've got the lakes.
Yeah.
And we love it. We live there. Let's see. Call it the 5 T's: taxes, traffic, travel, toddlers, time. That's why they're leaving California. Interesting.
I'm going to use that there, Brian. Huh?
There you go. Yeah.
The 5 T's.
Yeah. Oh, now she's talking to Lisa. Okay. California, New Texas beaches. Yeah. Any new build sell-offs? The Django fan. Yeah. Absolutely. Give us a call. The builders are, they love us again all of a sudden. Last year they were like, don't talk to us. We'll let you know. We'll call you.
Same here. Builders are incentivizing. They're trying to give you guys credits, discounts, everything. So that's cool.
Yep. Looking in Frisco and Prosper. Awesome. That's our backyard. We love it. So definitely give us a call. Let me see right there. Give us a call. Email. Yep. My friend made an all-cash offer on a home that was listed at market price based on CMA. Lost as the home sold 10% over asking. Yeah. Well, your friend MT used the wrong agent, because that would never, ever, ever happen with us. So we never make blind. We only make offers on deals we know we're going to win. That's what it comes down to, and that comes down to pre-negotiation with the other agents. We work all of our deals.
Negotiate.
Yeah, and 10%, even if it went 10% over, we could have easily got that. That's easy.
Cash is king, so I'm surprised there.
Yeah. Rather be in an earthquake than a tornado.
Hey, I don't blame. I agree there, JJ Smith.
Hey, they're sirens. They let you know when they're coming. I lived in DFW for 6 decades, never seen a tornado. That's the thing. It's funny, 2 weeks ago we had this crazy rainstorm happen for like 2 hours. And it flooded like one street in Dallas, and one car got stuck in there, and that's all you saw on the whole news.
It was like everybody was talking about it. I drove down the whole freeway, and I mean there were puddles, but
but that's what you see. It's like in the tornado. I mean, there can be tornado formations, but we're at the very end of all of that. And so can they happen here? Yes. But again, I've been here 20 plus years, never had an issue, don't even think twice about it. Not even, my concern. Let's see, fellow Dallas native, South Dallas. What's up? If you know that area, you know why I left. And no, I have no interest in telling you. All right. We got
not for everyone.
Yeah, where is Travis? That's a good question. I have no idea where Travis is. So we'll find out though. Got to keep a close eye on that guy. Hopefully he's working. Maybe he might be working some deals.
Always working.
He's always calling somebody.
Let me see. All right, you had to throw in one last question. Curious about your thoughts. Would you advise your seller to take an all-cash offer, asking price, or financing 10% over asking? It depends on the lender. So depends on the lender. Do we know the lender? If it's coming from a big bank or out-of-state lender, something like that, then all cash may be more appealing. So
I would just say, do they have the extra reserves for any appraisal gap?
Yeah,
that's what's really going to come down to.
Yeah, I mean, if lending is always more riskier than cash, of course. But at the same time, if you had cash, I'd probably call you and say, you know what, you're not where you need to be. You need to come up a little bit. So yeah, big bank, yeah, absolutely. So therefore, he says big bank, yeah. I mean, trust me, I know that people like to say, well, I've banked with Chase for 20 years. So that's where I don't know. They're a super pain to deal with. Seems like you always talk to a different person. So you don't have a dedicated mortgage officer. They're not available on weekends or evenings, which is whenever everything needs to happen usually, and so it's just not as like our team, our mortgage team, they'll answer the phone pretty much anytime. They'll make stuff happen on a weekend. They're not afraid to get it done. We've had people fly in overnight, show up the next day, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, yeah, I want to buy this house. We're like, oh, okay, all right. So it's just so much easier to work with the built-in relationship versus Chase, Bank of America, anything like that. We never know anybody we're dealing with, period. And we will never usually talk to the same person, So
if that lender doesn't answer my call on a Sunday at 6:00 in the evening, I don't want to work with them.
Yep, there you go.
A lot of deals are made there on Sundays and Saturdays.
Yep. What's up, Hari Har, my man? Any thoughts on refinancing? Yeah. I mean, I think when the time is right, the time is right. I mean, just keep an eye on the rates and decide whenever it's a good move for you. Again, you don't want to wait years to do that, but if there's a significant drop, then go for it. I think, if you've got a relationship or somebody that can handle that, they'll let you know if it's a good time, but you got to calculate that stuff too. So refinancing can be a good thing, but you got to kind of run the numbers on it too to make sure it's the right fit for you as well. All right. Well, we got to the end there. That was awesome. Jonathan, my man, thank you so much for coming on, and find his channel, Living in South California. Jonathan Hernandez. You can also search him that way on YouTube as well. And if you're thinking about listing your house so you can move to the great state of Texas, actually call us first and then we can refer it back to Jonathan. And then we'll help you buy the house here or vice versa. But anyways, thanks again for coming on, Jonathan. Really great to hang out. Any parting last words of wisdom?
If you're moving to Dallas, you got to hit up the Living in Dallas team. You just have to. They'll take care of you.
There you go. Appreciate you. All right, man. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
All right, brother.
Bye.